Collecting loot and weapons and fighting monsters is always appealing. Or maybe you're a little more scared and running away seems more appealing, but in Deadly Doodles you'll need to defeat the dragon and score big. To set up the game, each player will take one map board and dry erase marker, and then they'll shuffle the cards together to form a face-down deck, revealing the top 4 cards so that all players can see them at once. Make sure you leave a nearby space for a discard pile. In this game, players will be drawing path segments through their dungeon based on the cards revealed at the start of each round. As players draw paths through loot for points, through dragons for even more points, they'll also be killing monsters for the most points by drawing their paths through weapons and matching them. But they have to be careful because if they don't have the right weapon, the monsters will maul them. After 7 rounds, the players will be awarded points based on the entire path that they've drawn throughout the game. On each player map board, there is a dungeon divided into squares that represent rooms. These rooms are marked by coordinates along the top and left edges. There are also 6 entryways marked by arrows along the outside edges of the dungeon. Within the dungeon, there are 4 bags of loot, a dragon, and 6 weapon monster pairs labeled A through F. The small diamond-shaped passageway markers will show the players where they can draw through. There are also walls which players may not draw through and instead must navigate around because they may only draw paths from one diamond pathway to another. When drawing path segments, players will be drawing one of 3 types of cards. There are path segment cards, which look like this. There are trap cards that look like this. And finally, there are draw 2 cards that look like this. Path segments show patterns that must be drawn somewhere on the player's map. Only one path segment can be drawn within each room, and they must always link to other passageways unless they are at dead end. Players may rotate the path segments as needed, and the orientation of the card doesn't matter. Trap cards, when revealed, the players must draw an X within any empty room on their dungeon map. Players may set a trap in a room that has an entryway, but cannot set a trap in any room that contains loot, weapon, monsters, the dragon, or previously drawn segments, or another trap. Draw 2 cards when revealed adds 2 additional cards to the board, and then the draw 2 cards is discarded. At the start of the round, reveal the top 4 cards of the deck. Draw the revealed path segments and traps in any order that you choose on your dungeon map. Then each player will write the number of the current rounds in the small box at the upper left corner of each room where they drew their segments or trap cards. Once each player has completed drawing their path segments, the revealed cards are discarded and 4 new cards will be revealed for the next round. After the 7th round is completed, the game ends and then the scores are all calculated. For each room entered with a bag of money, the player scores 2 points. If the player managed to enter the room with the dragon, then they double the score for all loot collected in that game. Players then score 1 point for each room that they've entered containing a weapon. They then score 4 points for each room that they've entered that contained a monster with a letter that matched the letter on the corresponding weapon. After that, all players must subtract 2 points for each room that they've entered that contains a monster with a letter that does not match with a weapon of a corresponding letter. Then each player will score plus 1 point for each entryway arrow that is not linked to a path segment. And finally, each player will subtract 2 points for each time that they cannot use a path segment during a round. Last, each player subtracts 3 points for each trap that hit them. And that's how you play Deadly Doodles. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them below. Thanks for watching. Be bold, play games, be you. Happy gaming! You can pick this game up on warehouse23.com or at any of your friendly local game stores.